This is more of a working session style video today to show you how you can get your project data out of Primavera P6 and into OnePager to create data-driven PowerPoint quality summary graphics like you see here. On the screen I have P6 version 16.1 and I'm displaying the sample database portfolio of projects that comes with the installation. OnePager will not interact with native P6 files or your database just yet. So you'll have to conduct an export to either a Microsoft Excel or project file. If you have access to a database administrator, it is likely that you can get their help to generate a custom report to get the data you need instead of conducting an export yourself, which may make this process easier for you over the long term. We recommend you reach out to them if you have access. Today, though, I'm going to cover the export process. Ideally, and to avoid having to further filter your data as it flows into OnePager, you have the option of creating or modifying a user-defined field in P6. To do this, click Enterprise User-Defined Fields. In this control, modify an existing field that is not in use or add a new field of a text type. You can then add that field to your display by clicking the Layout drop-down and then Columns, which will allow you to see that newly created or updated user-defined field in your grid. Once it's there, just put a yes value next to the tasks and milestones you want to display in OnePager. You can then include this field and its values in your export mapping so it will be present in Project or Excel and use it to have OnePager quickly filter which items you want in your visual. The first step when you're ready to export is to open the project or projects that you'd like to include in the export, as P6 will only allow you to export the projects that are open. Next, click File, Export, which will open the Export dialog box and the Export Format window. Here is where you can choose an XLSX file for Excel or a project file. Let's first choose the project option and then our XML file version for project. Just choose the latest version of the XML if you're using Project 16 or newer, then click Next. If you'd like to rename any of the XML files you're exporting, you can do so by double-clicking into the file name cell in the Project to Export window. Once you're finished, click Next. In the Template window, keep the MSP mapping setting. But if you'd like to modify the mapping of certain fields from P6 to your new project XML file, you can do that here by clicking the Modify button. For example, I created a user-defined field called OnePager1 that has yes values populated next to the activities and milestones I want in my OnePager visual, which I'm going to map to the Flag 1 column in Project. Flag columns are just yes values in Project, so this mapping should work out nicely. If you have other columns of data from Primavera you want to see, you can map them into your new project file here. Once complete, hit OK, then Next. In the Export Confirmation window, click Finish, and P6 will export the files separately. To open the newly exported XML files, open Project, then click Open Browse, and then change your file type to an XML format. Select your XML files and click Open. This will kick off the import process. Once your documents have opened, you can then save them back to .mpp files. In Project, you reap the benefit of having the WBS outline structure remain intact as you see here, which is something that OnePager can read. If you mapped your user-defined text field to a flag column, you'll see your yes values there. And OnePager is ready to read it so it knows which activities and milestones you want in your new visual. After launching OnePager Pro and selecting New, you'll see where you can control your task selection. Use the flag column, or if you map that field to another text column in Project, simply create a custom filter like you see here. Now let's attempt to export an XLSX file. After clicking File, Export in Primavera, and then XLSX, click Next. In the Export Type window, choose as many relevant data types as necessary where you think you have data. In my case, it's just activities, and then I'm going to click Next. Choose the projects you'd like to export. Remember, you'll only see the projects that you have open in Primavera listed here. In the Select Template window, I would recommend clicking Add so you can make your own template and control what's coming out of P6 into your export, including the new user-defined field with yes values if you have it. The basic fields that OnePager must have are shown here. But if you have other columns that you think you might need to use for the purposes of grouping or formatting your data in OnePager, make sure they come over as well. I would also recommend bringing over the project name value if you plan on combining several projects into a single visual in OnePager. Click OK when done, then Next. Double-click into the Excel file name if you want to change it, and then Next. Then Finish. If I open the Excel file, you'll notice that Primavera has completed the export with all the data coming over as text, but that's okay. OnePager can read it. Delete the second row that says Delete this row in it. At this point, if you didn't export the column with yes values from P6, you can manually add yes values to a column next to the activities and milestones within your export to let OnePager know what you want in your visual. When you're ready, launch the OnePager application and click New. When the OnePager Choices form comes up, complete the selections in the form on page 1, then confirm the column mapping on page 2, and finally click Create New Project View. Once your initial result comes up, you can customize what columns from your export are being used to drive your swim lane grouping, coloring, or shape formatting using conditional formatting. And we have separate videos on each of those features within our video portal at onepager.com/support. Or you can feel free to reach out to us at support@onepager.com and we'll be happy to assist you.